Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. It's Paulie, Esther here, and it's getting to be about that time when we should expect to see a teaser. I think we might see a teaser this week. Not entirely sure. My calendar kind of looks like we're possibly going to see a PTB on February the 18th, counting the weeks. So I don't know if they're on schedule for that, if there's going to be some kind of an adjustment period. But if the PTB is going to come out on Tuesday, February the 18th, we could expect to see some teasers sometime this week. Certainly by Valentine's Day we would see something. So I had promised to talk about some bits of lore that might indicate what the content could be for the next chapter, chapter 15. So let's start talking about that right now. First of all, I'm sure that many of you have seen my Smasher video here with the Kool-Aid Man meme on it. Oh yeah, talking about the concept of a Smasher killer in Dead by Daylight. I recommend you go back and watch that. If you haven't and you want to just move on, I'll give you a quick recap of it. Basically, there was this killer that was one of the original concepts of killers for Dead by Daylight called the Smasher that had an ability to smash through the environment, and it was deemed to be too overpowered and shelved. Now, some data miners went through the files recently and found some scoring events that talked about giving out points for having destroyed destructible objects on the map that were not generators or pallets. So this got us thinking that maybe a Smasher type of character could be coming back to Dead by Daylight. And the way they changed the Leary's map, boarding up all of the doors with plywood, and then all of the different colored bricks at the bottom of the vaults, or the planks hammered across the bottom of the vaults, made it look like possibly that map was Smasher ready, that those areas were just waiting to be smashed through by a killer. And then other people speculated that it's possible that the smashing ability isn't a power for a specific killer at all, but perhaps a new perk that's coming into the game with a killer that would be teachable, and then all killers would be able to smash through points on the map. If such a thing did come through, I would think it would probably have to have a significant cooldown if any killer can do it. We'll have to wait and see. Now, the thing I want to talk about today with this Smasher killer is some people believe that the killer is actually going to chew through the walls and the vaults, and they cite the Hallowed Blight event of 2018 and the lore that went along with that to support their theory. So we're going to examine that right now. So with the Hallowed Blight event, we had daily entries given to us from Benedict Baker's journal, and the part that people point to is this entry here on October 22nd called Wounded, and it reads as follows. I'm hiding in a dense strip of forest. I'm desperate to erase the distressful images engraved in my mind. Last night, a disfigured man barged into the laboratory with a gruesome mechanical mouth and shred the walls into splinters. I barely escaped with my life and wounded my arm in the process. I have no options left. These monsters find me no matter where I go. All I have is a journal filled with obscure promises of escape. I will return to the laboratory. Now, people believe that this points to a brand new character that we've never seen in Dead by Daylight, this disfigured man with the gruesome mechanical mouth. I'm not entirely sure that that's true. And while I see how it's written, that it says the disfigured man with the gruesome mechanical mouth shred the wall into splinters, it doesn't necessarily say that they did so with their gruesome mechanical mouth. It could be entirely possible that this character could have a gruesome mechanical mouth and still shred the wall into splinters in some other way, perhaps with a machete or with their fists or whatnot. And as we go further into the daily journal, on the next day, it says here under experiment, I'm close to death, I can feel it. When I returned to the laboratory, I started experimenting with the putrid nectar and distilled it into a foul serum, but I made a terrible mistake. I injected the serum into a dead rodent whose pupils dilated and its body shook, and I tried to restrain it, but the creature bit into my arm, ripping my wound open. I stopped the bleeding, but I fear the damage is done. And then on the following day after that, October the 24th, it says, experiment number 2. I awoke to a terrible cry booming from the cellar and a violent bout of nausea. Through the vile ordeal, I started to recollect what had happened. Tainted with the foul serum, my wound had swollen with lymph, at which point my assailant returned. So it says assailant returned, which is presumably the disfigured man with the gruesome mechanical mouth. Most of our fight was a blur, but I can recall red tears trickling down his gruesome cheeks as I clawed at his face, and some moment later, when I kicked him, sending him crashing into a brick wall, the power I felt then, there were no words for it. I now know that there is truth to Vigo's methods. Another cry. My assailant, now chained in the cellar, must be getting restless. This is just the beginning. So, Benedict Baker injected this rat, which bit him, and therefore transferred some sort of power from the serum into him, enough that he was able to restrain this disfigured man with a gruesome mechanical mouth and chain him in the cellar. From there, on October 25th, it says the peak, and it goes on to say, I should have foreseen his escape, given the potent dosage I administered him, but I needed to see the results. So, we know that the assailant was chained in the cellar, and they administered a dose of the blight to them, and then they escaped. We then are given this cinematic trailer to reveal this happening. I'll show you that here now. So you can see from the cinematic trailer that the assailant, the disfigured man with the gruesome mechanical mouth, is the trapper. We see him chained in the cellar. We see him escape. It matches with the journal story that we're given. Definitely the trapper. Now, would I necessarily describe what the trapper's wearing as a gruesome mechanical mouth? Not necessarily, but, you know, when you are running for your life away from an assailant like this, or you're hopped up on serum yourself fighting with them, I could see how maybe you would describe them that way at a glance. You're not like getting a good look at them, because he has this mask with all these razor teeth, and it does look pretty gruesome. Whether it's mechanical or not, that's an argument for another day. But I think it's pretty clear that the evidence all points to the fact that this was the trapper and not an additional killer talked about that we have never seen before. So when I look at this lore, it doesn't lead me down a path thinking that there's going to be a new killer that's going to chew through stuff. It would be pretty cool, though. Hey, people have been asking for Jaws for a long time, but maybe it would be the Jaws that they weren't expecting. It'd be the Jaws from James Bond that could just bite through stuff. That'd be pretty cool. But I think, if anything, this just helps lend towards my next theory, which would be that the alchemist is actually the next killer, or one of the possibilities for the next killer, honestly, because we see that they get hopped up when they were administered serum from the rodent bite, and it gave them a lot of power. So it could be the alchemist. This is going to be Benedict Baker, and they are juicing up, and when they juice up, it gives them the ability to smash through stuff. But I don't think that the journal entries here describe a character that we don't know about yet. And so finally then, to keep on the theory of the Smasher and how maps are getting altered to become Smasher ready, have you guys noticed that the Gas Heaven map has this giant sinkhole in it? Like from the gas pumps to the window behind the counter inside the gas station to the gas hose, the hose that you like step on and it makes the bell ding, to the pickup truck outside on the side of the gas station. There's a great depression there that goes down a couple of feet. In fact, you can't even fast vault through the window into the gas station there. It simply won't let you do it. Now, why would they be messing with this tile, which has been fine for years? Perhaps they're getting the map Smasher ready, and something went wrong with that elevation there, where they're tweaking the map so that people are going to be able to break through that vault as the Smasher, or using this Smasher perk potentially. I just think it's really weird that all of a sudden there's this huge depression sinkhole in front of the gas station. Can we get a truck of fill in here to fill this in? Like I literally downed the Jake and you can barely see him, especially when he's getting moored. You can put your traps underground in that spot even. It's crazy. I don't know why the elevation is so messed up there, but it's really out of whack in that particular spot, and hopefully they can fix that soon. But to me, that kind of sends off my red flag, like, oh, they're getting map smasher ready. Why are they manipulating this map at all if it isn't for that reason? So that kind of ties into my theory about the whole smasher ready map system. Okay, that's my first video this week for Explore the Lore. I got a few more ideas of things that I want to talk about. I want to touch on that Alchemist some more, a little more in depth, and then the Black Widow, and then possibly even the Observer. We'll see how far we get, and if we do get any teasers this week that steer me in a different direction. That's what I've got for you today. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day. See you next time. Bye-bye.